All right, so anyway, we're going to play with PuTTY. So the first thing we have to do is find the place that prints that message. And it says login as, so we want to find strings. This is a feature that I find in OllyDebug, which I have not been able to do in WinDebug, which is a shame because WinDebug is more powerful, but it's missing this feature. You can right-click, search for all referenced text strings. This is really nice. This is strings that are used as arguments for functions, just what you want. Not just strings like you'd find in bin text, which would be any series of bytes, but strings that are actually used. It's very handy. And again, I've got to fix the font for each window separately because these people are trying to drive me insane. Right click. They have a thing called fonts all, but it doesn't really seem to affect it. All right, so here we are. So now you can search for things. You can right click, search for text. And I can search for login as. And when I search, it doesn't seem to have found it, nor did it say it didn't find it. Let me try Control F. No. Okay, right click. Let's see if I'm searching in the right area. It should. Yeah, I don't know what that is. I think that's some kind of, that's why everything's running slow. I've turned on some kind of garbage like an accessibility feature in Windows that I can't figure out how to turn off. Maybe that will help. Now there's, I'm trying to see text strings in PuTTY. Okay, that should be there. Oh, wait, in PuTTY.text. It's not going to be in the text section. So let me just close this. Something weird is happening. Let me try this again. I don't understand. This is PuTTY. Let's try running it. Make sure it's going to work. When I run it, you can run things inside the debugger. They'll run slower, but they should run. And is it running? It doesn't seem to be running. There, now it says it's running, okay. And here it is opening. Okay, good. So it is running, all right. Now I'm just going to cancel it. Now I'm going to try doing search for all reference text strings. Search for all referenced text strings, all right. Nope, it's going to some funny place. All right, let me go back to my instructions. Somehow it's determined to do something stupid. I want to start from here and search for all reference text strings. Now for some reason it was searching in the text section, which is where the unreadable machine code is. So I restart it. That's right, right from here, I should be able to find referenced text strings. Oh, it'll find the references there. Okay, search for all referenced text strings. Now I should be able to find login as. I think I'm just making mistakes because I'm having trouble with the interface. Let's see if I did this right. Login as, okay. And something happened there. I think it didn't find it. I don't understand what's going wrong here. Let's try log. Let's try this, all right? There, okay, now it found something. I think maybe it's finding it, but I can't see it because of the user interface here. Well, there, it found it there. It went to it log. Okay, good, we're getting there. All right, now let me try to find what I want. I think it's working. I just can't see what I'm doing. And now I can't see the mouse. There's the mouse. Okay. Right-click, search for text, log in. All right, now okay. And there it is. Okay, it's working. It found our login. Right-click, search for text, login, space as. Okay. And there it is. It's highlighted at the bottom. There. And what I want to do, there's two of these, and I don't know which one is the one that matters, so I want to put breakpoints, and you can put them right here. There's a breakpoint, and now I can search for the next one. I think it was working all along, I just couldn't see it. There it is, finding it again.
That was F2 for breakpoint?
Yeah, F2 for breakpoint. There. So there are two of them, and if I search for another, there won't be another. Search next. Now it's not found. There was a brief message that flashed up. So now what you can do is run the program, go back to the CPU window, and run it and get to the login point, and when it'll break, you can find out which one of those commands actually does it. Okay. There it is. Now I need to give it a server to connect to. I think I spelled it wrong. Yep, okay. All right. And it's running. This tells you down here what it's doing. There, now it hit the breakpoint. And Microsoft has to pop ads up on the thing. So now we found the command, the location we want. It's this one, 41CB6E. That is the thing we want to modify. So now we can clear all breakpoints, which is breakpoints clear. There is some way to do it. Let me check my instructions. We did all that using breakpoints. There's a way to clear them. Yeah, view breakpoints. Okay, view breakpoints. There they are, okay. And now I think I can clear them all here. I can just remove them one by one is another way to do it. There is some way to clear them all, but I'm having enough trouble with the interface, I'm not going to struggle with it. All right, now I can modify this command. So the first thing I think I want to do is just change the pointer. To remove one letter, I can just reassemble the first command. So right here, the first command is push putty, this address, and so I can right-click and assemble. And it shows me that command, so I can just change that to 7D. Now before I do that, let me show you why this is going to work. Let's follow that address. Here it tells you the pointer goes to the ASCII login as, but you can also put it in the dump. Right-click, follow in dump, immediate constant. That's the address here. And then you see down here, here's that address, login as, and then a null byte terminates a string in C, which is that's the string. So if I start it not at 7C, but at 7D, that'll cut the first letter off this message and make it shorter. And that's what I'm going to do. So I right-click, assemble, and then just change the command here to end in D, and then assemble, and then I'm going to cancel. I don't want to keep changing things. And now that one turns red, showing I've changed it. So now I can save a version of this program that's modified by clicking here and doing copy to executable. Now this is really cruel. When it says all modifications, it's lying. If you change things here and there, it wouldn't save them both. It only saves the modifications in the current segment, and it doesn't tell you. So what I've learned the hard way is every time you work in Ollie, save a copy after every change. Otherwise, only some of your changes will be in there, and it can be very annoying. So anyway, now I copied executable, there's a program, and now I save file, and this is going to be, desktop is fine, this is going to be putty 2. There we go.
So instead of 7D, you can put 7E as long as it's before the
7Z?
on the location table, on the memory table. You know, you put 7E.
The last letter, you mean?
The last letter.
Yeah, well, you can change it to anything, and then it'll print whatever's there. So you could print yeah. If you move it over one letter, it'll just cut the first letter off. It'll start from wherever it is and go until it hits a null byte. That's how C works. All right, so that should have done it. And now I can, let me get to my desktop. I'm here, and holy crow. Yeah, the desktop might not be a good thing to use with my machine all messed up.
Click on the open space and then try changing the icon.
Is there, where do you go? Personalize or what?
Display settings.
If you know how to fix that, that would be nice. System, icons, search for icon. See, I don't know, I hit some key press that did something awful here. Turn the pen menu off. Nope, no, I just thought it.
It's
So,
under view, so when you right click.
under view? Okay, if you think you know, that's good because, okay, right click, view, yeah. Oh,
Then small.
medium icons. Oh, good. Well, that's something. Good. That might make things. Thank you. I appreciate it. Now, somewhere on this desktop should be putty 2. There it is, putty 2. Okay. So let me just close Ollie to get rid of this. All right. And now if I run putty 2 and connect, you can tell I don't live on Windows. And there it is. Now it's missing the first letter. So we were able to modify the program. Now, by the way, this should not have been possible. The whole purpose of code signing is to prevent this garbage. And this is signed code. And I've taught this class to Microsoft engineers, and they didn't give me any answer that made any sense to me. If you look at PuTTY and go to Properties, there's a thing called digital signatures. And that shows you this thing is signed by some guy named Simon Tatum. And if you look at the details, it'll tell you this signature is okay. The whole point of a digital signature is that you can't modify the code. But we just modified the code. So what gives? And if you go here,
So what was the difference that you saw?
I removed one letter. You shouldn't be able to do that. I could just as easily put malware in there.
Oh, yeah, you modified the program and it didn't detect it.
It's not supposed to run if it's modified. And if you go to the modified program and go to digital signatures, it's still signed, but if you go to details, it'll tell you it's not valid. But it just runs anyway. It doesn't even warn you. And the Microsoft people cannot explain to me what they're doing here. Why do you even have a security feature and then not use it? I mean, you're not supposed to be able to modify code for exactly this reason. I could distribute a modified version of PuTTY that does an evil thing. Anyway,
A lot of
Yeah.
my OT software
yeah.
is unsigned.
Well, that's true. I mean, it's unsigned. Anybody can modify it. But when you sign it, it's supposed to stop people from modifying it. But no.
Yeah, it'll let you run it.
It'll let me run it. I can email it to people. So that's surprising to me. Anyway, if you keep going, you can also modify it the other way by changing the text. Instead of changing the pointer, you can go down here and change the actual message. So rewrite it to say badness instead of login as. Another way to do it, then you're changing the data section instead of the code section, and it's a very similar process. But for the most fun, I want to point you to this part here where you attack this program called 000.exe. So let me copy this link, or if I could find something that will copy the link, copy link address. There we go. All right. And download it in here. All right, that should have downloaded it. Looks like it did. So if I go to the command line, and this is some kind of nonsense. Okay, I go to the command line. Okay, and Control Plus. Okay, so go to Downloads and do a directory. There's this program called 000. It's a game. If I run this game, it asks me for launch codes, and then it insults me. I didn't solve the problem. It's just a password guessing game. So we can look at this thing in Ollie Debug, and it's a really good thing to look at because it's very easy to understand.
The launch code is password.
Yeah, it's a that's right, it's a password, yeah.
Guessing whatever.
Exactly. And you're going to see here, let's see if I can get Ollie Debug to work. Now I can do File Open, and open Downloads. All right, there we are. And let's see if I can get this to minimize or go away somehow. All right, and now the thing is, you can read the program here. On the right, it shows you the system calls, and so it calls putS to print this message, it calls scanf to read the codes, and then it either says, wow, you got it, or I think my dog figured it out. That's the whole game. The entire game in assembly code is right there. It's only like 20 lines. So this is a great way to learn assembly code and learn how to modify it. And so you can totally figure out what's going on. Here's where it reads the data from the user. It does some kind of math on it. Here's where it does a comparison to see if it's right or not. And here's the jump. If it's not 0, it jumps down to 205A, which is here. And then it says, I think my dog, this is the insults. So you win if you don't do the jump. So you can modify this game by not doing the compare and not doing the jump, and then you'll always win. So all you have to do is click on the compare, and then press space or right-click assembler, and then just put in NOP that will do nothing. And say assembler, and now it fills it in with NOPs. And now you just keep going, NOP, NOP, NOP. But it keeps moving. All right, assembler, assemble. It keeps moving back to drive me nuts. And now one more time, we'll take away the jump. if I can get this mouse to do the right thing, which I cannot do, assemble. There. And now I'm done. I've removed those.
The jump with not.
Yeah. It's enough knobs to fill the whole command. The command was several bytes long, so it puts in that many knobs. So now I've made a game that you will always win. So all I have to do is save this game, right click, copy to executable, all modifications, haha, copy all, and now right click, save file, and this is 000 mod. Nod, I guess will do. All right. And now, if I go here, and maybe I'll have to open a new command prompt. Oh, this is like one frozen with OllyDebug. Let me close OllyDebug to get rid of that. All right, now I want a terminal here. Okay, now I go to Control Plus to make it bigger, and CD to downloads, and do a directory, and now I can run 00 nod, and now whatever I give it, I win. So you can cheat on the games. And so this is a good bit of practice, and there's a series of challenges where you do more and more of them here. The original one, you had to do it 67,000 of them, and they were different categories. And it was, this one here, I only go up to like 16, but you can do them, and you get one letter every time you win. And so the letters turn into a flag, so on. It's a good thing to play with. And you can, by the way, you can do it automatically. When you start doing large quantities, like I had to do thousands for the original one, you can do it in Python. And I've got an example Python script here. This is how you can read a file, then you can modify it and write it out again to another file in Python. So you can automatically patch the files. And you can even automatically run the files and harvest the results. There's a lot of ways to do it. There's a lot of other solutions. By the way, you don't need to cheat this way. Another thing you could do, which my smarter students did, of course, is read the assembly code and figure out where the secret is hidden. And just steal the secret. Don't even need to run it. That's another way to do it. Because the right answer is hidden somewhere, and it's like encrypted in some simple way, so you could just figure that out. And so it's also the reward when you win is sitting in there, so you could just find it. But I just did it by running the files because I'm cheap and sleazy. Anyway, so try that stuff out. That's some good stuff to try.